What's the creepiest experience you've had that others refuse to believe? My name is Daniel, and when I was 12, I had an experience in El Salvador that I'll never forget. It was the summer of 2003, and my family decided to visit my grandpa Miguel, who lived in a small house tucked away in the mountains. His place was far from the city, in a remote village where the roads were more like dirt paths, too narrow and rocky for cars. The locals always talked about the dried up stream next to his house, whispering that it was haunted. They said you could hear the cries of the dead at night, or even see the devil himself pacing along the stream bed. I was a city kid, skeptical of these old stories, so I just shrugged them off as superstitious nonsense. That day, we left San Salvador, late in the afternoon. The plan was to get to Grandpa's before dark, but the bus broke down halfway, and we ended up stuck for hours. By the time we started the long trek up the mountain, the sun was gone, and the sky was pitch black except for the moon casting a pale glow over the rocky trails. It was me, my mom, my older cousin Luis, and my little sister Carla. We carried heavy bags of supplies, and our only light came from a couple of old kerosene lamps that flickered with every step. The air was thick with the smell of dust and pine, and the silence was broken only by the crunch of our shoes on the gravel. It was around 2 a.m. when we finally reached Grandpa's house. My legs ached, and I was exhausted from the walk. The house was small, made of clay walls and rough tree trunks, with a tin roof that creaked in the wind. As we approached, Grandpa came out to meet us, his face lit up by the lamp, looking older and more tired than I remembered. He hugged us tightly, but there was something off about him. His eyes kept darting toward the stream, like he was checking for something. We set our bags down on the porch, and Grandpa fumbled with the keys too. Stream crept back into my mind, but I pushed them away. Just village rumors, I told myself. Then I saw it. By a gnarled tree near the stream, there was a figure. At first, I thought it was just some drunk guy who'd wandered too far from the village. It was hunched over, blending into the shadows. But then it moved. It stood up, taller than any person I'd ever seen, maybe 7 or 8 feet. He kept saying, "It's fine, Daniel, just get some sleep." But his voice was tight, and I noticed he kept a rifle propped against the wall by his bed. He never did that when we visited before. The stream under the moonlight, but I didn't dare look too long. The sound of those hooves felt like it was pressing in on me, and I started to cry. I was just a kid, and this was too much. Luis woke up and put his arm around me, whispering, "It's okay, it's just animals or something," but his voice was trembling too. Grandpa didn't say anything. He just sat up in his bed, clutching that rifle, staring at the door like he was waiting for something to burst through. The noises stopped as the sun began to rise, and the crows scattered. We didn't talk about it in the Daniel. I never went back to that house, and I never asked about the stream again. But even now, when I close my eyes, I can still see that figure by the tree, swaying in the dark, and hear the clatter of hooves on the rocks.